Lewis, it's like pulling teeth still. All right, buddy? You're going to have to save yourself with your tongue.
In just 1 week, Lewis Waldron goes on trial for killing Patrick Hurricane.
Calling about you-know-what party, the Waldron case.
The defense strategy is to focus on Hurricane's past.
So you're not introducing this into evidence, right?
No.
To paint the victim as the aggressor.
Now, you asked for Mr. Hurricane's rap sheet.
Hurricane had been arrested for a number of assaults.
In 1982, he was arrested. 1991, arrested again.
Many involving alcohol.
How important is it for you to get his background, his police history, introduced as evidence in this trial?
Well, it's critical for me because otherwise he's just going to seem like a choir boy riding his bicycle out in his neighborhood. Patrick did have a lot of contacts with the police department, and Mr. Farrell's convinced that he's going to be able to keep all this information out.
You get killed in the street, and the only question people have is, didn't you get arrested?
John, you're wonderful at sarcasm, but it's usually you who's introducing evidence about people's past and are begging to get information into people's past. And when the tables are turned a little bit, or is it because he's Irish-American and so are you, that all of a sudden it's a big deal?
What they've tried to do is victimize or to vilify the victim.
Hurricane's friend, Mike Doherty.
Somehow his past or what happened in the incident, that somehow there's some kind of justification for murder. Pat had nothing to do with this. Pat did not deserve to die.
You're going to have weak moments, Lewis, and you're going to have bleak moments.
The trial is just 2 days away.
I'm just weighing the options here, you know.
Waldron appears to be getting nervous.
Now, if we take this to trial, right?
He faces a maximum sentence of 6 years.
Isn't there some way, if it wasn't looking the greatest, whatever, you could still go for the plea bargain, or would that be all just...
I don't think that's a healthy way to think going into a trial.
The DA will still settle the case for 4 years.
4 years? You want to take 4 years to involuntary manslaughter? You have wanted to go to trial and wanted to go to trial and wanted to go to trial for a very long time.
When you say trial, you can win, you can lose. I mean, 6 years is a long time.
Oh, you got those transcripts still, huh?
It's the first day of the trial, and suddenly, no one is talking.
Well, the judge has issued a gag order.
At least, not publicly.
And I've got a client who's considering taking a plea to an involuntary manslaughter.
There's a new plea bargain being discussed.
And Lewis has told me he wanted me to ask the prosecutor if they would offer him 2 years in prison.
But is this a bargain the DA is willing to buy?
This is DA John Farrell.
The answer when we come back.
Leave a message and I'll call you back.
Also ahead,
You know, I told you at the beginning of this it was going to be a long process, and at the end it was going to be a real nail-biter.
Lewis Waldron is waiting for the most important phone call of his life.
Stakes are high. Stakes are pretty high.
They were saying 4 years, 4 years, 4 years.
Waldron wants his lawyer, John Runfola, to try to negotiate a plea bargain of 2 years in prison for the killing of Patrick Hurricane.
I said, Lewis, are you sure you want me to make the phone call? He said, yes.
Runfola would still like to go to trial.
To send a young guy like Lewis away, you know, he's going to college, he doesn't have a record, you know, he's loved by his teachers, he's beaten a lot of odds already.
But a loss in the courtroom could mean even more time in prison.
Because of him, somebody's dead. He has to do something for his actions, but this is my grandson.
He's offering to plead guilty to 2 years state prison.
The next move is up to prosecutor John Farrell.
How you doing, George? I told him I didn't know.
John? Hi. Yeah. See you at 4:30, bye. You can have it if you want it. Why don't you go talk to your mom? We've prepared a long time. We've dug up a lot of stuff. I feel pretty good about the case, but it's Lewis's decision.
I don't know, a tiny bit of relief, I don't know, but I mean, I still got to do what I have to do and everything.
He will take the deal.
It's better than worrying about a sentence that could range from up to probation to 6 years, you know.
Do you have anything to say to the Hurricane family? You've said it since the day you were arrested.
Well, I'm sorry that the whole thing happened.
Ironically, the defense strategy of digging up Hurricane's past paid off. even before the trial ever began.
The defense attorney was really getting nasty, and he was starting to threaten to bring up all this stuff, and Pat's mother had just had enough.
The judicial system has failed my son Patrick. From the moment he was killed, he was put on trial. Instead of being a victim, he became the suspect.
Courtroom is a cruel, cruel place where it's extremes and good and bad and no grays and no room for pain.
What is so disturbing to me is that as Patrick lay dying in a pool of blood in the street, Lewis Waldron showed absolutely no compassion. What kind of a person could look at another human being and not say, my God, look what I've done?
It's the judgment and sentence of this court that the defendant who admitted to involuntary manslaughter as a felony, that he be sentenced to state prison for the mitigated term of 2 years.
It is an unexpected end to a bitter case, a last-minute compromise which leaves both sides wondering if justice has truly been served.
This kid, he didn't, I don't think he deserved to go to prison for the rest of his life. He made a bad mistake.
What's your name?
Lewis Waldron.
But 2 years for a man's life. He'll end up doing 9 months in jail. And my friend's gone.